Welcome to Word Value, the podcast that explores the profound impacts of words on life, language, cultures. And I'm Don, your host and a communicative person. And I'm thrilled to embark this journey with you. Can you introduce yourself a bit? Like, what's your name?
Yep.
Where you're from? Stuff like that. Yeah.
My name is Nobuaki. I'm from Japan, but normally people call me Bob.
Yeah.
It's simple and easy. I prefer that.
Yeah. And you study in.
Here in France.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't want to mention the name of the school?
Valencia. Program name is Food and Agribusiness Master of Science in Food and
my
Agribusiness.
God.
Things like that. I believe.
Yeah. Food and Agribusiness Management, probably.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I don't remember.
Yeah. I mean, same. Mine is also International Master of Management and then specialization in marketing for products.
It's too long anyway.
It's very long. I don't know why they do this kind of thing, but I mean, it's in
I'm super lazy, I just simply memorize
Farm.
like that. Yeah,
SAM.
I mean, food and agribusiness, that's it.
Yeah.
Other lovely stuff, I don't need to memorize.
Yeah, we've been studying together for how long? 3 months? A year? No.
No, here?
Yeah, here.
We started
3 or 4 months, I think.
No,
the first semester?
First semester is
6. No.
4 months? Was it 4 months? September, October, November, December. 4 months.
Yeah, it's 4 months.
And
then we
January,
separate.
February, half years.
Well, but although, to be honest, I've been working with you guys like super well because I don't know, maybe because we all came from this like the same perspective of international students, so we're not going anywhere besides using English as a language for communication. Yeah, but life is still good so far, right?
Sure.
Okay. As you say so. All right. So this is the topic that you're going to choose.
Okay.
And just choose one and we're going to follow this kind of topic for the rest of our podcast. That one?
Yeah.
Okay. The blue one, right?
Yes.
So, old versus young, companionship and relationship. Meaning like, what are the difference between old people and young people and how they can work together effectively? Or what are the challenges of working with old people and young people? Old people here doesn't mean that they are 85 or something. It's people older than you or you are older than them and they are younger than you are younger than them.
Like I and you.
Well, it is.
Because how old are you?
I'm actually 25.
And I'm 36, so older than you.
It is. But I mean, we can say old or young or we can say that, elderly generation, comparing to mine. But I think like, or maybe even people who probably like 25, but then they work for people who's actually 65. So that even like more different. Like according to what I have actually talked to people or experienced myself,
I don't know. Depends on the culture.
Well,
yes.
Because
before, like when I was earlier, I was like 27 or something.
27?
Something.
And
I worked with like 60 years old, 70 years old farmers. I work for them.
Wow.
But there is no such huge barrier between us, I believe. However, if I am in Japan, and I talk to elderly people in Japan,
exactly.
I should be so polite. I should respect them because our culture, kind of, age is very important. So
it is. Like, it's so as my country, when you work with even like not 20 years or older than you or 5 or 6 or 4 years, so you also have to be respectful.
Yeah.
In every place.
Honestly, I don't like that.
Why?
Personally, well, it makes barriers. I don't like any kind of barriers because it just bother people. The thing is finish something, do something, right?
Yeah.
So any kind of barrier between relationship is just simply bother the task accomplishment.
I think maybe because
I don't like
they thought that the people who older than you, they have lived life before you, they experience things, so they have lesson to learn.
True.
So that's why you maybe respected them because they already been there.
True.
They have done this kind of thing. So yeah.
True.
That's also an idea.
Not force younger people to respect you.
Yeah, I think
kind of from yourself.
Right? It's not about your age. If you're not being respectful.
Of course, I do respect the elderly people, wherever they're from.
Yeah.
I do that personally. I do.
But
what? I do that.
I mean, it depends. if
Well, of
they
course.
behave very rude, then we're not gonna
Well,
be
it doesn't matter. The age doesn't matter.
Right?
Stupid, young, stupid, all exist anywhere. Anyway,
but you have to respect anyway, right? Even though
True.
they old or young, they behave badly or good. Wow.
sufficient.
Mm.
It's kind of tricky question.
Yeah.
It's kind of tricky. Well. How?
To overcome like a stereotype, like, oh my God, he's 45 years old. I don't want to work with him. Because I heard that people above 40, they are not able to listen to your idea because you're young and they always expect this kind of thing. So I think this is a stereotype.
And vice versa.
Yes. And how
the elderly people underestimate younger generation
exactly,
who actually has much knowledge than you know.
exactly. So
I'm kind of middle
how
aged,
to,
so I know.
I think we all understand like the difficulty of working together,
yeah.
but we don't really have a solution for that. So what is a factor that you can overcome this kind of stereotype, in order to work together very well?
Difficult.
To,
Well, it's kind of difficult. Any kind of stereotype we have,
Yeah.
via stereotype, it's really difficult to remove because I don't know.
I know.
Stereotype comes from the cultural background, experiences, society, things, So,
But for
I
your
don't know.
own personal opinion, yeah.
Personally, like I said, I don't like making barriers. So I don't want to make any kind of. I mean, I have, of course, I admit that, but
Yeah.
I try to remove as much as I can. Whatever you said, probably it's true. Probably I'm wrong. So even though I'm sure I'm right, I may be wrong. So I have to talk to you. I have to listen to you.
Yeah.
I have to verify from other sources. And then, making sure or double checking with other resources.
Okay.
I don't know. Well, including third party, probably. Either other person or other people. For example, if there is an old age guy here, and you said he's not listening to me, he's not. I mean, probably he is.
Exactly. You don't really.
You cannot judge him.
Exactly.
But because you are young and this guy is old, it's difficult to communicate directly, and you cannot remove your stereotype by yourself.
Yeah.
So probably you can include other person. Probably we can talk as group, and then you can understand what this guy, and vice versa. So probably working group or
Communication.
communication.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Because like you said, you don't really know who is that person is if you don't ask them or get to know them. So it's a way of communicate with people.
Yeah, I mean, the answer is very, very general, so it's kind of boring.
I mean, it's okay. No, I mean, it's fine because for me, it's very difficult to answer as well because I have an experience of working with, different generation.
That communication is difficult, actually.
Exactly.
How to communicate.
Right? Yeah. Because we work in a team together, some people don't really work well with us.
True.
But it doesn't mean they are the bad persons. But it's just way to collaborate, work together. That's why this is, I think, is a great question if we able to discuss, because at the end of the day, we're not able to divide it or work. You, for example, with the same age, and then we work together, and the older people work together. I don't think that's possible in reality, because in a company or an organization, you never expected that you're gonna work with the people that you expected to work with. It's gonna be diverse groups of people. Yeah.
And I remember that since I was really kids, I was thinking always in my country, like I said, we should respect the elderly people. Elderly people is correct.
Yeah.
Younger generation are stupid. That's the general opinion.
Wow.
Just general opinion.
Okay.
So we have to, the younger generation must obey to the elderly people. Elderly people must lead, guide younger generation. That's kind of general opinion.
Exactly.
Yeah, I hate it since I kids. I was always wondering, when I was like 11 years old, or 10 years old, or 7 years old, I was wondering why we have to follow, are they always correct?
Yeah.
The adult guys are always correct, but look at the crime rate.
Exactly.
Crime rate of adult guys above 18 years old, much higher than the kids criminal.
Exactly.
So, the number of the bad guy is much higher than kids. So, how do you prove that?
True.
Yeah, I told to the adult around me, and they said, "You are stupid. Shut up. That's it." They shut me up always. You are
Yeah.
stupid. You are saying kind of nonsense things. So
Yeah.
anyway, and that thinking still inside of me.
Yeah.
I'm now 36 years. I'm stupid old guy, but I'm
I
still
mean-
thinking like that.
I mean, you're not that old people
But-
though. Yeah. But you hit in age that
Well,
very more mature. Yeah.
people shut me up that time. We was
Wow.
like that kind of age, 36, 40 years old, like my mother or my family
Uh-huh.
member. They told me, "Oh, you are telling this stupid nonsense. Stop staying." Blah blah.
Because
blah.
they are older than you, so they know more thing than you. That's what it was trying to say.
And my opinion is that age doesn't matter.
Mm,
Of course, like you said, elderly people, older people have experience, and the experience is great.
yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
So we younger generation should learn from the experience, should listen to the experience.
Yeah.
Because history, it's history.
Mm,
Which we have to learn from history, in my opinion.
exactly.
But it doesn't say always collect perfectly.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm,
sometimes younger generation come up with a brilliant idea and change the world.
yeah.
You know, so we can learn something as kind of reference
Yeah.
from the past,
Mm-hmm.
but just to use the past,
Yeah.
not like following that guy.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
I mean, that was one of the perspective as a younger
Well, but both I think.
individual. Yeah.
If you are older and if you have much kind of experiences,
Yeah.
there are always something different. You should know that. There are always something, even though if you are familiar with
Yeah.
that kind of things, like whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you are familiar with the phone stuff, you're familiar with agriculture stuff,
Exactly.
there must be something you don't know.
Yeah.
You are not specialist. Even though you are specialist, you don't
Yeah.
know everything. You are not the god. Or whatever,
Exactly.
you know.
Although I felt like I understand both way. At first, because I work with older people, I have the same reaction of it when we share something. They don't value our idea. Or maybe there's a certain way that they don't listen to you. But also when I was a part of being the older generation, working with even younger than me,
Mhm.
I kind of understand the feeling of how the younger generation work as well.
Mhm.
Because I work with a group of people who super younger than me and they're very chill in terms of work. But for me, like my work ethic is to commit it to the work.
Mhm.
If the hours of 2 hours you're working on this project and you need to finish, you have to, because this is the discipline that I have and that I receive. But then working with them is more about chilling, and they don't kind of having a lot of like respectful discipline when it comes to deadline.
Mhm.
They kind of having a little excuse, and they don't really value the work that they're doing now.
These guys younger?
Younger than me.
How old are they?
They was like in their 2000s, they were born in 2000 or 2002, 2003.
Something.
Yeah.
Around 20.
At that time, they were 21, 22, even 19. So working with them, for me, sometimes it's very difficult to divide it between emotions and also responsibility, like professional. Exactly. So for me now, I felt like maybe because I'm old, that's why I'm kind of like focusing everything about only work, but they was like too young. I should be relaxed because it's not my company. I don't really care. Just doing my job. I don't really care about the progress, how the performance will in the company in general. But like for me, I wouldn't view on that kind of way. And the communication when we, for example, have a meeting with them, they would be having an excuse or then respond to what you were saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
And sometimes I felt like this is actually very disrespectful toward me. So that's why I was kind of like in the middle at some point. Yeah.
It's really common feeling, I believe, but I like to ask one question. When you were 19 or 20, like such young generation, were you kind of brilliant guy? Or you were like that?
I mean, I'm not a brilliant guy though.
In my point,
Yeah.
for me, I was stupid when I was 19 or 20. I admit that. So even though I saw someone 20 years old who's not working well, who are lazy,
Uh-huh.
I always think about that. You guys are lazy. But when I was 20, I was more lazy, much more lazy.
Comparing
so,
to-
yeah. So they're much better than me anyway. So of course that's normal.
Exactly.
I always tell me, like, you tell myself like this. So, that's true. That's true. Like, because there are experience, so they don't know yet. Of course,
Exactly.
how can they know that? I know that it's important. For example, I know that this task is very, very important because I know that I have the experiences. They don't know that. Of course, they don't know that.
Yeah.
Which is why they don't do anything. So,
Interesting
it's kind
point,
of
yeah.
logic for me.
Maybe because they don't know how to do things. That's why they don't do things.
Yeah.
True. So that was actually brought up to a great question as well. I think this is toward how to understand older generation. Like their wisdom, their experience that they have been, born before you. They have been through life struggling, war even, in my country, in your country as well. So the lives there, it was very difficult comparing to now.
Yeah.
Like in my family, sometimes we have always hearing a lot of advice when they mentioning about their past, like struggling life, poverties and stuff like that. But a lot of younger generation chose not to listen because they thought it's different generation, this different life timeline now. Life now is like very peaceful. I don't need to be struggling to that. So what can young people learn from older generations, such as like wisdom, resilience, and historical perspective?
Everything you talked, wisdom, knowledge, history, everything, the life, generally like their life, because their life is part of history, and every single piece is very important for them, and every single piece is very interesting actually. So, like 80 years old, 19 years old, even 60 or 40 years old, they have the kind of experiences. The experience can tell you something interesting, something useful for your life, which you may experience future.
Wow.
And chronically, just history is always kind of interesting. Like I have a 100 years old grandma.
Yeah.
She was
Really?
born, yeah. She was born before World War II. When World War II was over, meaning Japan lost.
Yeah.
She was 20 something. She was like your age.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh my God, yeah. When she was born, there was no phone.
Yeah.
Of course. And when she was like 10, 15 years old, there was a phone in her neighbor's house.
And
when she need to get the phone call to call someone, I don't know, I don't remember, but she always need to go to someone's house.
Yeah.
Who is a rich guy. And then like 10 years later, Japan lost. After that, like 20 or 30 years later, everyone has a phone, like that phone.
Exactly.
After that, couple years later, we have the smartphone. Now, my grandma can call me
through a smartphone.
Not her phone anyway.
But still, she able to do it. That was amazing to her.
I mean, interesting. I mean, that history, we cannot learn.
Exactly.
We can learn from them. So
I think the good thing about learning from old people, especially historical perspective, it's actually your identity, because when you heard what your grandmothers were saying, a part of it, it's possibly 94% true. Who knows? I mean, life that she's been experiencing. I think it's very important for listening to that because when you learn from her, that was gonna be your identity. When other people was asking, for example, your kids in the future or other like nephews and stuff like that, they will be asking like, okay, so how about your life experience or your histories of life? You're gonna mention about your grandmothers, like, oh, this. Yeah.
But sadly, like you said, young generation are not really curious about that. Even me,
right?
Before, like when I was 20 or something, I wasn't interested at all about my grandparents' history. But it's kind of sad.
But now you kind of wanted to hear more, right?
I regret that, honestly. My three grandpa and grandma passed away, so I cannot listen to it solely anymore. I really regret that. I should have listened carefully their stories. But unfortunately, I think it's normal that the younger generation are not really curious about all the history. Because like you explained,
But then when you started getting older, you realize that, that would have been...
You can realize the importance of their experience.
Exactly.
Well, and maybe we got the experience, I believe.
It is. Especially when we're in France now. Sometimes you've kind of like forgot where you come from. Like not forgot like, oh, actually I'm from Cambodia, you're from Japan. Of course, we know where you were from, but we kind of forget how life works because you were born there. I was born in Cambodia, so I would actually...
I've been away from that country like 8 years something. So
exactly.
I forgot on
exactly. You even more like away from Japan for so long. So sometimes it's a great reminder to receive a phone call from your grandma to listen to her voice, and then you started to review on your childhood's life experience and stuff like that, because that's a part of your identity.
True.
Even though you immigrant to a new country, it doesn't mean that you abandon your origin. It's very important for your origin. Kind of out of the topic now, but it's good. I think it's really good to discuss about this kind of thing. But so the opposite question. So now, before it was younger generation, learn something from older generation. Now, what should older generation learn something, especially about technology, new perspective, fresh new idea? I mean, like how or what? What can the older generation do?
Trend. Like I asked you a while ago, trend.
So the older generation should follow the trend, right?
Not should follow the trend, I believe, but they can understand the trend.
Yeah,
Follow or not up to them. But
exactly.
they need to understand what's happening right now around the world. Or more that
That's a good thing. Yeah, I understand what's happening now. Anything else that you think it's a good idea for older generation should do? Because sometimes they're not easier to kind of like can you listen to me as younger persons, because they thought, no, I don't want to. Your lack of experience, I wouldn't listen, especially in the workplace.
really? I mean,
For example, you hire to be an HR consultant at the age of 34 years old, for example, and you're very expertise in this kind of field. You have a short experience, although you work very well, you have a lot of clients, and the company, atmospheres and people, human resource in general are super, working very well together. So, but there's one older, employee who would never listen to you because he's always thought that, you're young. So what can you actually kind of like giving an idea of older generation should actually respect us and listen to us as well?
older generation.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is there any way to convince them to maybe shift any idea to like, oh, actually I should listen to anyone's?
Of course, I mean, ideally,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. No matter how old are you, you have to listen to other people, gender, nationality, whatever. You have to listen to other people in general because it helps you. Because the idea comes from wherever it is.
Yeah.
From the 19 years old,
Exactly.
kind of even the 5 years old kids. 2 years old baby can do some kind of amazing thing sometimes, and you can learn some invent. Anyway,
Yeah.
So in general, you should listen regardless of context they have anyway.
Yeah.
But in reality, of course, it's difficult because apparently, as we get old, we will be more opinionated. We cannot change our mind or thinking, so it's kind of problem.
Yeah.
So in order to not to do that, not to be that,
Yeah.
the older generation should talk to the younger people.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, but how can we make them to do that?
Yeah. That I think is a very simple question. What?
Opportunity?
Opportunity?
Yeah.
What kinds of opportunity are you talking about?
Having time more with the younger generation, or like not like your subordinate or in your workplace, probably outside of your work center. Because if you're boss and that younger generation, you're your subordinate,
Exactly.
work for you, relationships different. They're not open to you. And you always think about I'm boss, why I need to listen.
Right. Yeah.
So probably different person.
Yeah. I mean,
like that guy is going to talk to me like this.
But some boss also can also listen to their members.
That's great.
Our
Boss,
employees,
honestly.
exactly,
That's great, boss.
because they have a perspective of being a leader.
Of course.
But I think one thing maybe older generation can do is be open-minded. Like they should be open. Exactly. So the only thing that they can do is to make decision, to make a choice.
This is kind of stereotype, yeah,
yeah, it's easy said than done. But I think that one of the study that they study about the brain system thing, they said when you reach the age of 25, your brain's gonna develop kind of like something neural system. I don't remember exactly that you're not able to change or follow or listen to people anymore because you have a strong
Brain stop
perspective.
to go.
Exactly, like you said.
Brain's collapsing.
Still, I think brain collapsing.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I mean, it's true though, according to science or whatever it is. But I think still, if we are as a team or in a community or you live together in a society, you need to able to harmonize at some point if you work in the same company or live together even in a family, which is brought up to a question like in family. I don't think in a lot of Asian country, kids doesn't really talk about personal stuff or things they're struggling
Exactly.
with their families.
My opinion, yeah.
So as the family, like the parents,
My
especially,
opinion,
they don't really talk about how they felt about their personal life because I don't know. So there's a gap between like parents with the kids. So my question is, like grandparents, mothers, sister, brothers, younger brothers, like how can they foster this kind of atmosphere, like in a family household?
First question is it necessary to share everything with family member, even kind of sensitive topics? Sometimes it's tough. Sometimes it's very difficult.
Why do you think it's tough though? I mean, in European country, they probably talk very openly.
Well, I don't think so. For
You
example,
really?
for example, if you're gay,
Okay.
for example,
Yeah.
if you love the man,
Yeah.
it's very difficult to tell to your mother here in France or wherever.
Right? Especially for country was not open enough for this kind of thing.
For example. Well,
But
where
I mean, sensitive other stuff also very difficult to talk to as well. For example, you suffer from depression. It doesn't mean that it's easy to talk to people that I'm actually feeling like I'm depressed or people would judge me because they thought, oh, you're crazy and stuff like that.
Even the family judge you.
So that's the thing. So that's the problem. So what can we foster this kind of thing? Like
I don't know.
To let people talk to each other's,
Honestly, my opinion, just my personal opinion,
Yeah.
it's not necessary to open with other people because you cannot understand completely each other.
Yeah.
And even the family member, we cannot trust each other completely fully.
Oh, true.
I mean, not super open.
Depend on
people
families.
judge you, people of course depends on the relationship.
Exactly.
Of course,
Yeah.
everything. So my super personal opinion.
Yeah.
So we cannot be super open to the people, even though the family members. But luckily, we have the AI. If you talk to ChatGPT can answer you. It's kind of general question.
Yes.
But like I'm depressed or like I have a difficult friend. What can I do? And then ChatGPT give you the answer. If you simply ask stupid ChatGPT tell you like breadpoint, that's kind of insane. No, I don't need a stupid breadpoint. But if you know how to make the prompt, they will be kind of nice consultant. They will take care of you more than a human being. And then in reality, behind of that, it's just a system. No one needs. So you don't need to worry about that. So you don't need to feel kind of shame. You don't need to feel about judgment from the other people because it's system.
Yeah.
It works.
Although, do you think you're gonna receive the same experience? For example, people who have suffering with mental illness or people who suffer with, sensitive topic, they doesn't know how to talk to, but they have a very group trustable friends and also the therapist, was it gonna be the same thing? Because the emotion to sharing face to face with people and then through AI technology.
Yeah, apparently I read article. I don't remember certain numbers, but according to that article, people feel more open to talk to AI when they talk about sensitive topic than specialists like therapists or whatever.
Yeah.
So because AI is nothing, it's a machine, so AI doesn't judge you.
Yeah.
Human being.
I understand that though.
Human being always a human being. So we feel kind of fear to be judged, even though you are kind of specialist or whatever. So AI does.
Well, speaking of AIs, there's a question that related with the technology, in terms of old versus young.
Any kind of technology, not only AI, any kind of
Exactly. But what kind of role they are doing? Like, What can technology can help,
So first, technology can connect people like me and grandma. I can talk to my grandma
through like a phone call, or was it Facebook, or was it?
Facebook or
Oh,
Messenger.
okay.
Also, it's technology.
Yeah.
So, like in France,
Yeah.
she's in Japan.
Yeah.
There are kind of 8 years, sorry, 8 hours differences between the area and the distances.
Yeah.
Too huge, but we can talk to it exactly same time. So these things, of course.
Yeah.
Well, other things. Oh,
I mean, like you said, I think social media was a big part of communication, of course.
and AI.
Well, it is.
I mean, if you are old and if you want to actually talk to younger people, but you
Yeah.
don't know how to do that, you can ask the AI, hey,
Exactly.
I'm gonna talk to my grandchild,
Yeah.
like next week, but I don't know what's the topic I can read. I want to make them joy. So suggest me what's the hot topic for the younger generation. And then ChatGPT give you the bullet point. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna give that lovely point. Probably you fail anyway.
Exactly. Well, I think the good thing that you're saying is true. And I agree, because AI or social media, especially when you ask the question, they immediately reply of many sources that you probably never heard of and may be beneficial for you. And the most important thing about this is trust. You don't need to be judged by anybody because you just, type on the question that you have. Do you think older generation need AIs in their life?
I believe so.
Why do you think that?
In general, everyone uses AI
Okay.
right now because
Yeah.
in terms of everything.
Right?
If you need to talk to someone, AI can help you.
True.
If you want to come up with an idea, AI can
Right.
help you. If you need to write something, AI can help you.
Exactly. Especially it's really good for people who very forgettable, like memory.
That's
I don't
true.
know the word. There's
That's
a disease for that.
That's true.
So sometime when you just forgot something, you just, like Google or chat using ChatGPT.
That's actually true. I
Right?
never saw that. Like, you just simply talk to the AI, tell the AI.
Exactly.
Okay, I already had a medicine.
Exactly.
And then AI can show you, you already had a medicine.
Yeah.
Sometimes like my grandma always forget whether she took the medicine or not.
Yeah.
But if you already told the AI can suggest you.
Exactly.
Sorry, grandma, you already took the medicine.
Yeah.
And then grandma said, okay, sorry.
Actually, like I was about to talk about the same thing because sometimes they even forget the name of the medicine, so they can actually like, what is the medicine of a headache and this kind of thing, and they pop up the name of the
Is there any
medicine.
service like that?
I think you can do it. For example, medicine of the name of a medicine that the symptom is headaches and stuff. They were showing it the ChatGPT for
Just
sure.
kind of reminder,
Exactly.
because it bothers my uncle.
Like create a society that young, old people getting along, respect each other, understand each other, able to communicate it with each other very effectively. Yeah.
We have such society, right?
You have what?
We don't have such society. For example, like celebration things.
Maybe yes and no. I don't know too. But
Of course, it depends on the family.
Exactly.
But we still have kind of things,
Well, true. But celebration, it doesn't mean that you're able to create like a society that people value each other. Sometimes even at Thanksgiving or Christmas, when you're going back to your family, especially for European people.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean they're gonna go there and then understand each other, get along. Some people would complain that, it's very difficult to go there. People like don't listen to each other, loud fightings and stuff. So that was the problem. Yeah. So how can we create like a society in general where young, old, different ages group respect each other, grandma, auntie, uncle, kind of like have the same value in terms of like living in the same society,
But the old things, like you said, Christmas or other things, like New Year's Day for our case, these kind of traditional things can connect old generation and young generation because it was created like for long time ago, So as long as we follow that kind of traditional culture, we can connect with that culture, traditional context.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. Of course, which is why recently younger generation forget about the traditional culture and they don't care about that, like me anyway.
Really?
So I don't anyway. So which is why they don't have opportunity to celebrate together like traditional.
Exactly,
Traditional.
because you don't like traditional celebrations. You're not gonna go to visit the yeah, exactly, the
So
gathering.
that's the kind of issue. So I think they need the opportunity to be together. And as long as they are together, they have the opportunity to communicate each other and then they can understand because they need to spend time together.
Exactly.
So in order to spend time together, they need excuse. And then that kind of cultural event, traditional event can be excuse
Yeah.
to be at the same time, same moment, same place,
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't want to go there. It's really far. I don't want to be there. It's
Really?
totally complicated.
I would love to go to Japan though.
Well, you are familiar there, not there. I mean, so regardless of the context, okay, not only the family member, okay, the community or society.
Yeah.
Globalization has things I believe. Like in my country, rural area
Yeah.
is aging.
Aging?
Aging meaning
Meaning
the elderly people are more dominant than younger people in rural area Japan.
Yeah.
Because our society, the aging society,
Yeah.
a bunch of the older guys.
Yeah.
So particularly farmers, fishermen, they don't have the people who
Yeah.
inherit their job.
Yeah.
Next generation, no farmers, no fishermen. However, to keep their work,
Yeah.
they now use I'd like to use the term use anyway. The people from outside the country, like from Indonesia or Philippines.
Mm.
So they come to Japan, work
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah.
And it's actually a kind of social problem anyway. But on the other hand, these old fishermen or farmers
Yeah.
are happy to tell their story, to tell their technique to
Yeah.
the younger people from outside the country who just
Mm.
simply who simply wanted to work and get money, but
Yeah.
actually they learn something from these old guys. So
Mm.
it's kind of opportunity. So
Yeah. That would create value,
Yeah.
of course, both way.
So yeah, I think opportunity, any kind of opportunity,
Yeah.
is a family or you don't know, or
Yeah.
foreigners or whatever. Well, you need to keep the opportunity to be together.
Exactly.
I think.
Yeah, you said opportunity a lot as a keyword. I think it's cool to maybe share people opportunity toward each other, not just to keep it to yourself. Some people, very close minded because they thought like it's hard for them to get what they have now. So your young people to receive it easily, it's kind of not fair comparing to me. Sometimes it can be another reason that they were not really giving opportunity to each other.
Mhm.
And I think the common thing that old young people can do is to listen, right? The art of listening, if you're able to accept the difficult persons or you even being a difficult person yourself, you also can
Yeah.
practice on your listening,
True.
When you listen to each other, you understand other people.
True.
So no matter like you said, age, gender, whatever it is,
True.
it's gonna be going in the right way because you listen to each other. Yeah.
True.
So last things, what do you see yourself in the past, in the present, and in the futures? Like, what do you kind of see yourself, for example, in the past first? What do you learn? One thing that you learned from the past? Yeah.
Okay, I was stupid in many ways. And I made a bunch of mistakes in many ways. I learned from the mistakes. And I've been to many countries. I've been in many cultures.
Yeah.
And I learned from different perspectives. I learned different aspects around the world.
Yeah.
Still, it's not enough, but at least. But presently like this, so I was stupid. I made a bunch of mistakes. That's the past.
Why is it everything is about like stupid decision or something? Maybe
You mean myself?
Yeah, you always repeat,
Yeah,
in the past is stupid.
well,
Now the
well,
present is also the stupid.
Yeah, of course. People are always stupid. We would never be
Exactly.
kind of smart.
Like the right word to say is, well, we'll make mistake no matter what, because if you don't make mistakes, sometimes it's hard to learn things. Yeah.
We don't know anything.
How about the future? Like, what do you see yourself in the future, especially going to Brazil in today or
It's very near future anyway.
right? It's a very near but still future. It's different place, it's different atmosphere, different people, different school. Yeah,
Yeah,
journey. So, what do you see yourself? Yeah,
kind of fun, I think.
adventure, fun,
Yeah.
exploring,
Yeah, I've never
and
been to-
stupid.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, of course, always. As a human being.
Exactly. I think being stupid sometimes also define as don't take your life too seriously. Some people, when we were younger, we always teach that don't do this, don't do that, don't touch it, don't touch that. So
True.
you follows that. You
True.
don't want to make any mistake.
True.
But sometimes you have to make mistake.
True.
Not intentionally, of course. You're not gonna do stupid thing because
Sometimes you can do intentional.
I mean,
stupid
you
things,
want, but
you can
still,
try some stupid thing, then you can learn. Okay.
and then you know that it's good or bad for you.
Yeah. Sometimes it works.
Hey, it's a good topic about. Okay, so I think that's all for our podcast today.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining
Thank you.
our little podcast.
Thank you so much.